Good morning. It's lovely to connect with you today. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to create a space of support and hopefully some healing for you. So while you're coming over, I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. You help me be able to keep being here and do the work that I do at Temple of Balance. So thank you so much. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia. I'm in the middle of Tasmania now instead of the southeast. I'm in the middle, and it is Monday the 25th, I think. Is it the 25th? Monday the 25th of July at 9:04 a.m. So, I'm not sure if Facebook has lifted its stupidity around me playing instruments, because if you missed my last video, I was letting you know that Facebook's been flagging my videos as copyright because I'm playing live music and it's claiming that I'm using someone else's music, even though I'm playing my own. So I won't be doing any musical instruments today, and maybe not until later in the week. I do have my smudge stick ready, and we can do some breathing. We can use this as time to connect. So what I'm very interested to know is how you're doing right now. Not yesterday, not how you might feel tomorrow, but how do you feel right now? In a couple of words, is there any way you can describe how you feel or how you're doing? And I'm going to pull some healing energy cards for us all, and we'll talk around that. And I want to interact with you in the comments, so please comment if you want to. And we'll just let it all unfold. I trust in how things unfold, and I trust in perfect timing. So I trust that if we need to talk about something, that it will come up, or it will come up in the cards, or I'll feel it intuitively. So let's start by connecting with you in the comments, and then we'll get started and get flowing. So welcome. It's so good to see you all here. Fantastic. My card reading video last Wednesday had about 10 viewers live. Like, that's how suppressed it has been here. They have been flagging my videos as copyright and actually muting some of the videos, and also limiting what people see. So it's fantastic to have 32 people here live, so welcome. That shows me that at least some of you got a notification, whereas no one really got a notification. I don't think anyone did for my card reading video on Wednesday. So if you did miss that, it is pinned to the Facebook page. So Robin's here. Welcome, Robin, and Patricia and Michelle. Hi, Julie. D-Wolf needs my help. Okay, what do you need help with, D-Wolf, and anybody out there? What do you need help with? I'm not doing readings. I'm not doing personal readings. But what do you need help with? And I'll see what I can do to help. I might be able to give you some advice or some tips or something. Lenique, welcome. Patricia feels very grounded. Fantastic, Patricia. And I must agree, I feel the same. I feel that too. Thank you. Elizabeth feels depressed. Sending you lots of love, Elizabeth, and anyone who's struggling or feeling depressed right now. And if you want to expand on that, please do. If you want to expand on that, you're very welcome to. If you don't, that's okay. I'm just sending you lots of love, and I trust that you get through this time that you're in. Robin feels blessed. Beautiful. Michelle, yes, Facebook is a bit crazy at times. Hi, Wolf, welcome. Julie has heavy shoulder pain right now. Sending you loads of love too, Julie, and I do trust that pain lightens and softens and releases for you and anyone else feeling physical pain. Angela says that she feels chaotic and mixed feelings. Yeah. So, is it because you're in between things? Is there something unsettling? Is there something that needs changing? Wonder why it's not feeling settled. Is it just a temporary space that you're in, or is there something more serious happening in your life? Connie feels overwhelmed. So my sign when I feel overwhelmed is that I need a break. So I wonder, Connie, and anyone feeling overwhelmed, do you need to take a break, but you've been avoiding that? Can you take a break and see if that helps? And sending you lots of love. Sharon feels lost. Actually, feeling lost is a really good place to be in, I find, because when you're lost, it means something's missing or something's not there. We're off track or something. But it's actually I find it a really good way to propel myself into action so I can find what I'm looking for or find what I feel is lost and missing. It's an interesting feeling, isn't it? Sending you lots of love there, Sharon. Thank you for sharing. Luna says she's trying to cope. I lost my fiance 7 weeks ago. It's been very hard and I'm trying to take it one day at a time. Luna, I'm so, so sorry. That's awful. And yes, I'm sure you are trying to cope and you're trying to take one day at a time. And that's really all you can do, isn't it? Another thing I like to remind myself if I'm going through something really devastating like that is I remind myself to go gently. When things are getting too hard, I just go gently, 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 and just think of things and life from a gentle perspective because things are so harsh and so difficult. So sending you lots of love there, Luna, and anyone else too who's grieving or going through something quite devastating. Sharon, welcome. Where are we? Emily. Emily says, I'm feeling ready to start the week. I would like some energy focus for the week. Yes, me too. Excellent. We'll do that in a minute. D Wolf says, help me again. D Wolf, what do you need help with? How can I help you? How can I help? How can we help? What do you need? Julie's got a sore tooth as well, causing tongue pain. Oh, ouch. Angela got notified. Fantastic. Hi, Bridget. And Kathy, good morning to you. Nor says, bless you, my sleep problems make me tired. Yes, they do actually. So hopefully you get some sleep soon. Excellent. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Lindsay. And Patricia says yes. Bridget says coping with money stress. I trust that settles for you. I think that's pretty common thread at the moment, isn't it? Lanique has low energy today. Gently, gently. Patricia says, change your mindset, change your life. Yes. Hi, Teresa and Sharon. G Wolf has substances abuse problem. And I don't have any personal experience with that. So I'm sending you my sympathies. And maybe, I'm sure you've already done this, but maybe there's some professional help that you could find that can support you as you move through your abuse problem. So hopefully something shared too might help you as well. Yes, gratitude, fantastic, excellent. Thanks, everybody. And Patricia, yes, a break. Vanessa, hi, Vanessa. Angela says, moved across the country. I'm happy but scared and nervous, excited for possibilities. But change is hard. Yeah, it is. You're not alone with that one. Hi, Michelle. Yes, there is a gold mine in feeling lost. It's a really good place to be in, actually. It might sound weird, but if you are lost... Oh, Facebook... I can see like 1.5 comments at a time, and now I'm at that point where it does that annoying flick back up. So I've probably just missed a bunch of comments. Sharon says, do you like your new surroundings? Are you happy where you are? Yes, my goodness, I love it. It's so good. So I'm working on the garden at the moment. I've been mixing concrete and making my own pavers, which is very exciting. I've never done before, and just getting some gardening stuff prepared for spring. Because we have very frosty ground here, I'm using this as an opportunity to get some fertility into the soil and to organise what I want to do with my vegetables and all these other things. So absolutely loving it here. Thank you, Sharon. And I look forward to taking you outside when it gets warmer. It's about 3 degrees outside. And I'm a morning person, so most of my videos come in the morning. So it's not really favourable for me to sit outside in the frost and in the freezing at this point. But one day I will be outside. Michelle says you can take steps to get better. You got to really want this and your doctor can help. That's Michelle's reply to somebody. Welcome, Gladys. Gladys is new. Hi, Kimberly. Elizabeth says, I love how you make us all rise above respectively. Oh, that's nice, Elizabeth. Thank you. Alvina loves gardening too. Joanna's put a helpline up there for anyone that needs it. Fantastic. Thank you. Alvina says, I feel peaceful. Beautiful. And Lanique says, it sounds lovely. And Susie says, good morning. Good morning. Okay, let's grab a card, guys. This is a card for everyone. So I trust that whatever it is and whatever comes up, I trust that something within it supports you at this time. So I'm asking the cards, what do the majority of us need right now in this moment? If you're watching live or the replay later, what do the majority of us need to know right now? So the best card for now for the majority of us, I trust 100%, is this. Uh-oh, Laurie lost sound. Hopefully other people can hear me. Not sure if it's just your end, but here's our card. Look at this. Card 77, call for help. And you might remember from the last 2 weeks of card readings, we've had the card number 2 called prayer. And I've talked extensively in this week's weekly guidance on Wednesday and last week's weekly guidance, because it was our theme, about prayer, about the energy of that prayer card, which is asking for help. And now we've got this card 77, call for help. Patricia can hear me, so maybe it's something from your end there that's not working or something. So it's in the rise category, and down here it says, be open to giving and receiving assistance. Signal. Don't be stubborn. Let help come. Reach out. Make the announcement and support. Okay, so this is a call for help, and I think of this like a signal that's sent out to say, I need help. I need help. You know, that something's gone wrong, something's not right, or I'm ready to change. So this is that call for help that we send out. Now, I've talked a lot lately about communication because it's huge all the time, but it's very big now. And I'm a really big believer that it's very difficult, but not impossible. It's difficult for help to come if we're not asking for it. And I'm a big one to, if I'm struggling, if I need help, I need to verbalize it. Usually just by verbalizing it to myself, it already gets the energy moving. But sometimes I need to physically ask someone, maybe an expert or someone that's got more experience than me, someone who I feel supported by, that I need help with something. So this is a very big sign for those of you who are struggling right now to ask and call out for help. So it might be, first of all, really helpful for you to work out what you need help with or why you need help. It could be something specific that you know that you're struggling with, or it could be that feeling that I'm struggling, I'm feeling stuck, I'm feeling stagnant, I'm feeling lost, I'm feeling alone, and things have reached a halt somehow, or I've reached this obstacle, this brick wall where I can't seem to push through. I can't seem to move forward. And it happens to us all, this sort of blocked state in some way. We may have a list of reasons why we feel blocked. We may have one reason why we feel blocked. We may not have no idea why we feel blocked, but we've been feeling blocked for long enough. And long enough in my definition is 3 days. So if I feel blocked for 3 days, that is too long for me, just to give you an idea of how I deal with feeling blocked. If I'm feeling blocked, I know, I can almost guarantee that I have not been honestly listening to how I feel or the things that are going on in my life that I am not really happy with, or the things that pull me down. Sometimes I might be complaining about something that I don't really like right now. And then by the time I get to about day 3 and I'm still feeling blocked, and I'm then assessing what's going on for me, where am I blocked, what does this look like, how does this feel, what's going on underneath that, then I might come to the determination within myself, the assessment that I have been, or the awareness that I've been complaining. Complaining is a big sign for me that something's not quite right. So I've either got to change my attitude or I've got to change the situation. Sometimes it means closing doors. Sometimes it means, like I say, changing my attitude and behaviour. Sometimes I put too much pressure onto myself or onto others or onto the situation that then doesn't work out the way that, or it doesn't work out the way that I'm thinking. So then that pressure becomes too much. So I may need to back off. So just a couple of things there about how I deal with feeling blocked or stagnant or stuck, or if I need help. So usually if I'm stuck or stagnant, I am not moving with how I feel. So I'm not listening and I'm not being honest with myself about how I feel about something. Because feelings, emotions want to be in motion. So I find it personally very helpful to feel my way through things. And if our emotions are a big, loud mess, if we're very out of balance emotionally, then that's a little bit different. So if I'm feeling out of balance emotionally, I need to step back and do some self-care time. If I can't really trust my emotions because they're just too off the charts, then I need to settle my emotions down by doing some self-care, soaking in the bath, writing in my journal, take a little bit of a break if I need to get my emotions back down into reality. So then I can continue to feel my way through and feel my way forward. So let's take some big deep breaths. And I'm thinking of this as a time, for some reason lately I keep thinking of old things connected with the church that I used to reject, 10, 20 years ago. I would reject things because I used to see the church as being like giving our personal power away to the priest or to the institution or what have you. I have found that, to me, I feel like I want to be able to self-govern. I want to be able to find things and figure things out for myself. So I find it interesting lately. I'm going back to things about the church that have sort of died in society and thinking about how we can bring those values or even some of those rituals that were probably good into our personal experience. So I'm thinking of things like the time of prayer, where, we would sit in quiet and pray for help or pray for guidance or pray for assistance or whatever we did to pray. I'd never really went to church, so I don't know the ins and outs of it that much, but I'm really drawn to that energy. And maybe this is an opportunity that I can't really play an instrument right now, that we can sit in quiet, just you and me and our breathing and our quiet time. Have you lost your quiet time? What we used to perhaps call as prayer time or meditation time, perhaps more recently. But have you allowed time for quiet, to sit and contemplate, to ask within yourself for help or guidance, to assess how things are going for you in your life? So this is what I really like to do now. And what I'm thinking and feeling here is that if we take 5 big breaths together, I'm not going to talk, so I'm going to count through the breaths. And using this quiet time, hopefully you've got a couple of minutes here where you can take some big deep breaths too, and think of this as your prayer time, your meditation time, your quiet time for introspection, where you can sit in yourself and consider what you need based on your current state that you've established. So you might be feeling lost. You might know that you need help, but you don't know what to do. You might be feeling physical pain. You might be feeling peaceful or grounded, some of the things that some of you have said. So now you've determined how you feel. Sitting in a quiet space, you can feel upon what you might be able to do to support a change, or to support the maintenance of that groundedness or peace that you might feel. So let's take 5 big breaths together. First of all, start by breathing out all of the air from your body and let it go. And as you breathe out, relax and let go. And then we're going to start drawing our first breath in, and we'll take 5 of these. Nice big breaths to contemplate. So breathing out and then silence. Okay, so just start coming back to yourself, back to your body, and back to the surroundings around you. The thing that really stood out for me, especially towards the end of that breathing, well, first of all, very relaxing for my body. I already feel, not that I didn't feel peace before, but I feel a contented peace coming in. But what came up there towards the end for me was hope. And especially if things are really, I don't know, I was about to say the word bad, but it's probably not the best word. If things are really difficult for you right now, if you're struggling, it can be very difficult to go, not impossible, but quite difficult to go from a really low place to a really high space. But what I mean in reality, it's very easy to pendulum swing when we're not in a very good place, because we go through this hot and cold energy, or this hot and cold space where we might go with extreme lows to extreme highs, but they don't last long because we move back down again. So what I'm more talking about here is moving from a low place, as that being a consistent place that you might be in, into a more heightened, or we could probably use a better word like contented place perhaps, that becomes a consistent reality that we live in. The distance between these two things can feel very wide, like a big canyon. And we're standing on one side of the canyon, and what we want, the contented, happy, high, or what have you life, the reality of that is way over there on the other side of the canyon. And in between is just this big canyon, and we might be thinking, okay, how can I get to this other side? It sort of feels like an impossible task because it's so far away from where we are now. But hope can be like a bridge, I suppose, a bit like a swinging bridge or a suspended bridge that we might put up to try and get to that other side. As our struggling time periods become less and contentment starts coming in a little bit more and the majority of our day starts to shift, it's very unusual or unlikely for us to go from a really low place consistently 100% of our daily time to feeling contented and peaceful and high and wonderful and happy 100% of the time in our reality, in our daily reality. So what first of all starts happening is we start overlapping. So we might then go 90% of the struggle, but a 10% of contentment that overlaps into our daily life. And then as we start setting up really good habits for ourselves, as we start looking at the things in our life and about ourselves that needs to change or improve, then the scale starts shifting. So instead of being 100% to 0 in goodness, it starts becoming 90 to 10%, and then 80 to 20, then 50-50. And that is a great achievement. To go from 100% misery or feeling miserable and struggling to feeling 50% of our day in that struggling space and the other 50% doing okay. So it's about shifting the reality, isn't it? It's the switch of the scales here so we can balance things up, but also make or create a life for ourselves, a daily life that is filled more with that space of contentment or peace or happiness or whatever it is that you're moving towards. So hope can be like a good feeling to have. I don't particularly like using the word that much, hope, because it feels a bit unreal. It doesn't feel very realistic to me. I'm a more of a trust person. I trust this is going to work out. It feels more solid and realistic to me, more reliable as something that could be. Hope is a bit sort of airy-fairy, but if we're in a struggling space that we're trying to get out of, then hope can be huge. So can you maybe consider, if it's appropriate for you, maybe bringing some hope into yourself, that this hope that things are improving, a hope that help is there that you need, a hope that you are shifting the scales for you in your life. So, yeah, how are you feeling? I trust that you're feeling a little bit better after this chat and that bit of downtime, a bit of breathing time. If you just stopped in, if you just called in, this is our card that we were just sort of talking about and connecting with, card 77, called Call for Help. Like I've said in the last couple of weeks in the weekly guidance, people aren't mind readers. They don't know if we're struggling and we need help. So sometimes we need to ask. In fact, most of the time we need to ask or put it out there. Let people know how we're doing, that we're struggling. But first of all, perhaps figure out for ourselves maybe why we're struggling or that we are struggling too. It's very difficult to want or get the help we need if we're not clear on what the problem is. So I'm going to pull a card in a minute to go. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this connection, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would love to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you would love to learn more about me and the work I do here at Temple of Balance, I have loads and loads of resources and things that I've created over the years. then please visit templeofbalance.com.au. So I started Temple of Balance in 2005, which now means that we are 17 and a half years old, which is pretty incredible. So 17 and a half years I've been doing this work online, and it's been an incredible journey for me personally. And if I've helped people along the way, then that's fantastic. I'm assuming because I'm still here and Temple of Balance is still existing, that you're getting help as well. So I'm so pleased that you might be getting a little bit or maybe even a lot of help from my work. That's that's amazing to think of. And I don't think of that often because, in fact, I very rarely think of it because I don't want to let what I do go to my head. I just want to be dealing with what I'm dealing with in life, working on the things that I'm working on for my self-healing, and share the stuff that resonates and works for me. And hopefully it might work for you too. So thank you. All right, let's grab a card to go. I'm looking for the best card that we need now to make this stuff a reality. Whether it be find the help that we need or that you need, whether it be starting to shift our reality. If you notice you've been complaining and struggling for far too long, if you laugh at my 3 days of feeling blocked because you've been doing it for 3 years or 30 years, then, you know, that might be something to really seriously think about. Because seriously, if I'm blocked for 3 days, it's too much for me. So that's what my attitude is towards feeling blocked. So what do we need to know as we move on from here? How can we make this stuff a reality? How can we change ourselves and our life for the better? We've got this card here. Card 104. How cool is that? It's in the action category and it says conquering fear. Let's see if this resonates with you. Down here, it says, summon your courage and your strength. Now, I've already written about fear today, just a couple of hours ago, on my Facebook page and my Facebook group. And I was talking about fear and I was talking about strength and courage. So if this resonates with you, maybe go and have a look at that if you haven't seen it yet. But it says, summon your courage. Keep perspective. Don't allow your insecurities to stop you from proceeding, because they will. Our insecurities are naughty little parts of ourselves that do stop us from proceeding and stop us from stepping into good things potentially. They affect our confidence, our insecurities. And for some reason, our insecurities believe the fear that we feel or the resistance we feel. It says here to look at your insecurities, release them, and then proceed. So your whether you realize it or not yet, if you have a need for attention, or if you feel scared about being alone, if you feel unheard, or even if you feel like you're missing someone or something that you used to have, it can be, not always, but it can be connected to your own personal insecurities. So what you might want to do, if this is sort of ringing something inside, or if you're immediately rejecting it and saying, no, I don't feel insecure, well, that reaction would be a sure sign, if I felt that, to look into it, because a part of me is trying to stop me from being stronger and being a better person. So I would be looking at or asking myself, what are my insecurities? What do I currently feel insecure about? Because I can guarantee it is having an impact on relationships and on parts of your life, because it does tend to do that. So the title of this card, Conquering Fear. So fear to me is like, I see fear as a challenge that I want to, I think of it as running a gauntlet or running an obstacle course. I see fear as a challenge. Now, I'm not talking about fear of things connected with survival, like we wouldn't just go out and walk in traffic or walk into the bear's den or jump off a cliff. So I'm talking about our fear that stops us from proceeding in life and following things that are potentially good for us, or making changes or making improvements. Our own personal fears that stops us from becoming a better person or improving our life. So I see fear as something that I want to conquer, something I want to and need to move through. Now, there are a lot of things like insecurities or our own issues or wounds that we can let go of because we hold on to them, and letting go is great. But fear is a different sort of thing to me. It's very rare, if ever, that I've actually had to let go of fear. Maybe if I'm about to step out on stage and I'm feeling stage fright, which I do tend to get, I will then really work on letting it go and distracting myself. But as far as general fear goes, I find it something more of something I want to face and move through, like a misty cloud that's right in front of me, like a veil, like curtains that have been drawn. And I can't, well, I could, I suppose, pull the curtains down, but I find it more helpful to pull them back, summon my strength and my courage, pull the curtains back, or just like a bull, maybe I'm not a Taurus for nothing, put my head down, feel like I've got bull horns or something, and charge ahead, charge through that fear and move out to the other side, because fear is like a veil. It's like a passage through something. And the best way that I've found for me to conquer that fear is to summon my courage and my strength, to kind of ignore the fear for a little bit and work on ways I can feel stronger. So it could be physical strength. It might be I feel weak in my body. It might be that I'm feeling bloated and heavy in my body. So I've got to work on my physical strength. It could be exercise, looking at what I eat, walking, running, doing things that I can do with my physical body to strengthen it, because that also strengthens me. It could be strengthening myself emotionally. It could be strengthening myself. In fact, a lot of it is strengthening mentally, encouraging, reassuring ourselves that we will get through this. We've got through it before and we will get through it again. So that's what I find really helpful about fear, is strength. Because strength, when we're strong, that's like a great way to diminish the fear. When we are weak and small and feeling insecure, the fear is like a big mountain. When we are strong and confident, that fear is like a little anthill or a molehill. It doesn't mean we don't feel fear. It's like that saying goes, feel fear and do it anyway. That's sort of the attitude I have towards fear. So this is coming up this morning, and what might be really helpful for you moving forward now, and to bring this stuff that I've talked about that stood out for you into your reality, is look at summoning and building your strength physically, emotionally, mentally, and look at your fear and how you can push through it and carve through that fear. You know, like that fox card. Find a way to carve out that new path for yourself. The path is going to be cloaked in fear. All paths are. All paths that are aligned with our soul, or are called from our soul, that align with our purpose, that help us become a better person, are cloaked in fear. Every single path. And in fact, that's a sure sign for me that I need to push through this fear. I need to carve out this path for myself. Because the fear would not be loud for me. I would not even be noticing the fear if there wasn't something amazing on the other side that it's trying to cover. Because our fear's tactic, I find, is to keep us small, is to keep us wounded and to keep us rolling around in the mud and to keep us struggling. So the fear kind of cloaks all these paths that we might be thinking about walking, but it sort of closes us in, all these veils of fear and curtains of fear around us. And it smothers, it's suffocating, it keeps us small, which basically keeps the fear alive. It keeps us wounded and it keeps us feeling insignificant. So to grow, to stretch, to feel more confident and feel more trusting in yourself and your life, it may be worth looking at picking a path that feels good for you, that you feel a pull towards, and carving that path out for yourself. Like the road runner, moving through the fear, like a bull pushing through with your antlers, and see what's on the other side of that fear, because it would only be trying to stop you if it was something amazing. And I've seen this too many times to count in my life, that I know that this is the fear's tactic. This is my lower self's tactic to try and keep me wounded and small. So I feel like I could keep talking about this all day, but I'm not. So thank you for connecting today. I trust something shared has supported you and hopefully inspired you to ask for help, and maybe to really think about how you can help yourself. In fact, this help that you need from others, is there any way that you could turn this back to you? And is there a way that you can help yourself more? What could you do to help yourself at this time? Could you strengthen yourself? Could you take your power back? Could you look at the perspectives that you have and maybe shift the ones that are keeping you small or keeping you held back? How can you help yourself moving forward? And I believe that you can help yourself. But I also, if you need extra help, that you have the courage to ask for it. But a lot of things we can actually help ourselves with. So thank you for connecting today. Gosh, I don't even need a musical instrument, although I do like them. Hopefully I'll bring some more back later in the week if Facebook sorts itself out. But I will definitely see you on Wednesday for the weekly guidance, and in between now and then if I'm inspired to be here. So take care of yourself, and sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. And namaste. Namaste means to me that the divine, the creator in me, honours and acknowledges the divine, the creator in you, that we are equal, we are one. So thank you for being who you are, and I'll see you next time. Bye.